Greetings, Pisces and Pisces rising. This is your Western forecast for May 2024. There's a 5-planet lineup in Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, compatible with Pisces, a water sign. Earth brings substance to the water because water can spill all over the place. But Earth can get dry and dusty, and the water of Pisces can bring life and creativity to the Earth. This is why Earth and water are so compatible. And we're having 5 planets in Taurus, which is incredibly unusual. Brings in a strong determination and perseverance and stubborn drive of the Taurus energy, but favorable to Pisces in your 3rd house. Taurus is the 3rd sign past Pisces. The key words of the 3rd house, it's the house of communications, of learning, speaking, writing, selling. And when it comes to traveling, more like weekend trips, more domestic, short distance trips. And socially, the 3rd house deals with siblings and also close next door neighbors. But the sun puts a real spotlight on loving, compromising Venus, sociable Venus, and Jupiter's still there, this generosity, this optimism. So there's some real favorable sociable energy, and that would do well with getting to know a new neighbor or getting closer to a neighbor that you never really socialized with before, or with a sibling, or maybe you are going on a trip with a sibling. Now, before I break down the other planets in Taurus and the new moon in Taurus, also the Sun and Venus and Jupiter at the end of the month are leaving Taurus and moving into Gemini. Gemini is 4 signs past Pisces. The 4th house has a lot to do with family and real estate. With the strong Taurus energy in the 3rd house, there might be a lot of learning and discussions with family or over real estate. But before I start breaking all that down, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or to sign up for my free daily message. All right. The sun is in Taurus every year, the end of April through the first 3 weeks of May. Wherever the sun is shining, this is where your attention, for the most part, that's the main theme. The 3rd house, learning, speaking, writing, selling. The new moon will be in Taurus on May the 7th. It will hold that Taurus energies for 4 weeks to the end of the first week of June, because the sun in Taurus will leave Taurus on May the 20th. But the new moon in Taurus will keep that Taurus energy of communications and writing and selling into the first week of June. Now, the new moon will be in Taurus on May the 7th. The new moon is where we're putting, this is our intentions to really focus with that Taurus energy in the 3rd house, whether you're selling, writing, traveling. That new moon, however, is being impacted by Uranus. That could be all new ideas and learning. That's Uranus. You could also be learning about Uranus, which is more about innovation, technologies, computers, science. That could be a sudden awakening. If you're in school, you may be suddenly deciding to change courses or change school. Also, because with the sun transiting in Taurus up through May the 20th, but Uranus has been in Taurus once every 84 years. That began in 2018. it goes into Gemini around July 2025. So we still have another year of this, where every May since 2018, when the sun is in Taurus, it's putting a spotlight on Uranus. And so this year, this month, we're also having the new moon that's really focusing our attention, that's being impacted by Uranus for everybody. Uranus is very liberating, very progressive, but there could be a lot of unexpected changes. And with third house, maybe around your sibling, maybe around your neighbors. But that third house has a lot to do with learning and selling and communications. Now, before I continue further on that line, the sun leaves Taurus and goes into Gemini. Gemini is 4 signs past Pisces. Now, that Taurus energy of the third house, classes, learning, selling, is still strong into the first week of June, because the new moon on May the 7th is holding that Taurus energy for 4 weeks. But the sun will leave Taurus on May the 20th and go into Gemini. The third sector of learning and selling and communications is still the dominant theme. But now there's another more interest, with the sun putting more, some new interest on the 4th house, because Gemini is 4 signs past Pisces. The 4th house, home, family, and real estate. Venus, that planet of love and harmony and creativity, is also going into Gemini 3 days later, on May the 23rd. The sun goes into Gemini on May the 20th, Venus goes into Gemini on May the 23rd, and Jupiter, for the first time in 12 years, goes into Gemini on May the 25th. Now, that sun in Gemini is also putting a real spotlight on the Venus. That Venus, creativity, love, cooperation, all focusing on the 4th house. That could be family. That could be real estate. The Jupiter could bring in it'll be there for in the 4th for 12 months, once every 12 years. That could bring in wanting to expand and have a bigger home or have another home. That's that expansiveness with Jupiter. Jupiter is also very generous, so family could be generous to you. But if you are buying and selling property, either individually or professionally, the Jupiter is bringing a lot of opportunities for growth and profits. Back to the 3rd house, which is so strong. The 3rd house is the sector of selling. Now, you could also learning. You could be taking classes, going to meetings, and learning about land, agriculture, and real estate ventures. That's the 4th house. The 4th house is family. And with all that 3rd house, you could be having a lot of family discussions, making plans to either travel, that's the 3rd house, or buying and selling property. So individually, you could be buying or selling, and with the Jupiter, you're bringing a lot of luck and protection. Professionally, you could invest, or you could be a realtor or be somewhat in the business of land and real estate, because all that 3rd house is all the selling and the meetings, and it could be with the 4th house all around family and real estate. But I think a lot of this is about the business of real estate or land or anything that deals with domestic products, because Mars is a 2-year cycle. And in April, it went into Aries, so I talked about it. And it's in its strongest sign when it goes through Aries. So that Mars in Aries can have more confidence, take more risks, be more ambitious. And in Aries, it's transiting your second house of income all of May through the first week of June. So here's ambitious, assertive Mars in your second house of income. Here's that 5-planet lineup in the third house, which could be learning new job skills to make more money, or really focusing on selling and getting commissions to make more money. And it could be around 4th house matters: land, real estate, domestic products. Now, the new moon is on May the 7th, and it's aligned with Uranus. So these sudden breakthroughs, unexpected energies. 2 weeks after the new moon is the full moon on May the 23rd. The full moon's in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is very expansive and outgoing and loves to travel. But the full moon reveals what the new moon was trying to set into motion with learning and selling and traveling on May the 7th. By May the 23rd, during that week, the full moon brings all those matters to a head, a time of culmination. Sagittarius is 10 signs past Pisces. The 10th house is business and career. So the new moon started off with, you could be learning, 3rd house, new job business skills. That's the 10th house. You could be selling. And with that Mars in the 2nd, being really driven and ambitious for selling, getting commissions, and it all with business, as that all culminates around the full moon, around May the 23rd. There could also be a family business with that 4th house. Now, this is part of the forecast where I like to look at how do these planetary energies impact your body, your relationships, your business. So I've already talked a bit about business. But let's start with health. There's a lot that Jupiter is all this exuberant, expansive energies in Gemini. Well, first of all, the first 25 days, so we've got to look at that. The first 25 days of May, but this has been going on since May of 2023. The Jupiter is in harmony with Pisces. So it's bringing strength and optimism and some vitality to the physical body. And then on May the 25th, it goes into the 4th house. And the 4th house is an angular house. And all that means is it really strengthens the drive of Jupiter. And the Jupiter will be aligned with the Sun, and the Sun rules the physical body, and the Sun-Jupiter will be in hard angle to the Pisces Sun. So there's a lot of this optimistic, outgoing energies with the physical body. Now, relationships. I always start with Venus, planet of love and harmony, cooperation. Now, the Venus, the first 23 days is in Taurus. That could bring a lot of camaraderie with siblings, with next door neighbors, or when you're having meetings or trying to sell yourself, like a job interview, or sell any of your products. Because of the Venus, people are going to trust you and like you. And then the Venus goes into Gemini, which the Venus goes through all the signs once a year. So on the 23rd of May, that pleasurable, charming, loving Venus goes into Gemini, and the Sun went into Gemini. So the Venus is being really spotlighted by the sun, and then expansive optimistic Jupiter is hitting the Venus. So there's a lot of joyfulness, a lot of playfulness, and that Venus, along with the sun and Jupiter, are all in the 4th house. That's family. But that could also be beautifying a home or entertaining at home. Now, when it comes to business, that strong 3rd house is all about learning new job skills or selling yourself. With the Uranus, new moon with the Uranus, it could be going into like technology, going into a whole new subject, or just changing your mind and wanting to learn something else, or learning how to sell in a whole new way. And all that selling, it goes along with ambitious Mars in Aries in the 2nd house of income. So you're feeling really motivated to increase your income with the 3rd house of either learning a job skill that can make more money or selling to make more money. And with the 4th house, all around land and property, unless it is also part of a family business. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or sign up for my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.